Bad Boys for Life is the long-awaited third entry in the Bad Boys franchise, which has been in some form of development since 2003. Michael Bay directed the first two installments, which starred Will Smith and Martin Lawrence as Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, with Will Smith being the badass action hero, while Martin Lawrence was there for comic relief. I wouldn't say that I'm a big fan of the Bad Boys films. Bad Boys 1 is a bit too generic, however Bad Boys 2 is still just a lot of insane over-the-top fun, full of all the usual bayhem that we've come to expect. However, Michael Bay passed on directing Bad Boys for Life, instead having done all of his Transformers movies, and most recently, Six Underground with Ryan Reynolds. This time, Belgian filmmakers Adil Arbi and Bilall Fallah have stepped in to take on the franchise, and I have to say, Michael Bay being replaced might be the best thing that could have happened to this franchise. Sure, this means Bad Boys for Life doesn't quite get to Bayhem levels of excess and chaos, but the action is sure as heck better edited together and more coherent to follow. Bad Boys for Life sees Mike and Marcus older and at different stages of their lives. Mike is still a badass, however he reminisces about the old days, what could have been and where he's going in his life, while Marcus has had a grandkid and is ready to retire. So in a way, Bad Boys has stepped into lethal weapon territory, with Martin Lawrence borrowing the "I'm too old for this shit" shtick from Danny Glover, and this means the filmmakers are gifted with plenty of opportunities to poke fun at these characters for being a little older and not quite as nimble as they used to be. Some of these gags used for light-hearted comedy or in the movie's more serious moments. Thing is, this is a Bad Boys movie. If you're coming to see this film, you're expecting laughs, crazy action, violence and explosions filled with profanity, and you get that in spades with Bad Boys for Life. This isn't Shakespeare, but it's exactly what fans are going to want from a Bad Boys movie, and it pulls it all off pretty damn well with a welcome focus on family as its main theme. I would liken the structure of Bad Boys for Life to being essentially a season of a cop drama reworked into a 2-hour film. The story of Bad Boys for Life is incredibly episodic, with every 20 minutes or so feeling like the end of an episode, and the bombastic finale feeling like that big season finale. This means that Bad Boys for Life does take a while to get the main plot going, as it sets up all its different story threads, reintroducing us to these characters, introducing Ammo, who are these new police recruits working under Mike and Marcus, while also setting up the villain who is connected to Mike's past. I didn't mind the villain. Each scene they're usually in involves some brutal violence. However, there's an attempt to give the villain some purpose and deeper connection to Mike and Marcus, rather than just being a cheesy action movie villain. There are some character choices and changes made with the villain later in the film that I don't completely agree with, but overall the villain gets the job done in being a formidable, somewhat irredeemable force. What keeps Bad Boys for Life together is the chemistry between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They are so funny to watch together, and many scenes are just staged around them jokingly making fun of each other, leading to some genuinely hilarious moments. Based on the trailer, I wasn't sure that all of the humor would work, as some of it felt a little forced or cringy. However, when watching the movie, the build up to some jokes makes far more sense when they are provided with proper context. I was honestly ready to write off the film as another dud, as a movie that just gets dumped in January, but I'm surprised at how entertaining Bad Boys for Life ended up being. Even Martin Lawrence, who I thought would have taken this movie as a paycheck, winds up easily being the most fun to watch, and seems like he's having the time of his life back with Will Smith. The action is honestly pretty fun to watch as well, with far more effort made in using practical effects and stunt work for some truly phenomenal set pieces, particularly one long chase between a motorcycle and a helicopter. It's all big, loud, bombastic, but quite well shot and edited together, making it quite entertaining. Sure, there are some less impressive moments in the movie created with CGI, like some of the digital face replacement, where Will Smith or Martin Lawrence's faces have been put onto stunt doubles, because let's face it, these actors aren't as nimble as they used to be. Additionally, the big final battle relies a little too much on green screen and tons of digital explosions, where it all becomes a bit noticeable. The final battle is the only time where the film feels like it's just becoming visual noise, but thankfully, it's broken up with thoughtful character interactions that keep it all engaging. Composer Lorne Balfe also does a pretty solid job with the music in the film as well, where plenty of pop songs are mixed with a score that gives the movie that classic Michael Bay feel and tone, while also updating the music to feel more modern. And don't worry, if you were worried about Michael Bay's absence, all I'll say is Michael Bay still finds a way to get represented, and if you are a fan, then you should be quite happy with what happens. Bad Boys for Life is a movie that is far better than I was expecting it to be, and I am genuinely surprised that this movie wasn't released in May or June with all the other big blockbusters, because there's a solid, dumb, fun action movie here that is designed to be as crowd-pleasing as possible, to the point where I kind of wish Hobbs and Shaw had been a little more like this. Also, there is a post-credit scene, so if you are going to see the movie, be sure to stick around. Bad Boys for Life is a fun time at the movies that reinvigorates and modernizes a dormant franchise that'll probably be back sooner than we expect. Bad Boys for Life gets a 7.5 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this, this one, stay right here for your mono fix. Bye guys.